Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another show. My name is Tyler, and I'm with Matt, the founder of ORATS. ORATS is an options analytics platform built on top of over 15 years of historical options data. And our dashboard is integrated with Tradier, meaning you can research and discover trades on our platform and then seamlessly send them through to your Tradier brokerage account. Today on the show, we're going to look at live and historical time and sales data, where we see the largest options trades making an impact on the stock price. We'll also look at the market intelligence and stock scanner tabs. Matt, if you're ready, do you want to share your screen and go over our recent trades?
Absolutely. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, so again, we have the EWJ and IWM. We didn't put one on last week. I think that was an oversight, but we'll put one on today. So I like to go to the trade journal that we're teasing out, almost ready for consumption. EWJ, again, we put on a condor for 77 cents and finished 57 cents in the money. So we made 20 cents on that. And then we still have this short put spread for 65 cents. And today it is worth 78 cents. We're probably up, I don't know, a few cents, maybe 10 cents on the entire trade. But EWJ is right at 70, and that's where our short put is. So that's still looking pretty good. Now let's look at IWM. Let's see here. So IWM, we did that double calendar. So we did the 197.207 March 27th to April 1st calendar. We paid 54 cents for it. And now the front month has expired, or we'll just say what we, if we got out of it on the first. So here's what that looked like. So it went to 95 cents. The stock closed about 207. So it closed pretty well right on one of the strikes. So that's a pretty good close for us. So that's nice. That's a nice trade, that double calendar, Tyler.
Nice job.
Yeah, that's I like that. I like that trade. All right. So what are we talking about today, Tyler?
Well, we're going to look a lot at the time and sales tab, where we can see largest trades from today as well as historically. And then you also see sort of that same table in the market intelligence tab that you have pulled up, where we can see a bunch of other pretty market insights like unusual volume, earnings and dividends and stuff like that.
Right. All right, great. So what I like to do is look at the top intraday movers just to see what's going on, not really to get a trade so much, just to see, so here's a big red one. That means it's gone down a lot. So this is iron. I don't even know what this medicine is, but interesting to take a look at it. So, if we look at time and sales, today isn't as interesting. Today it's just kind of like maybe coming back up a little bit, but if we look at the day before, the trading day before is March 28th. If we look at that day, what we're looking for is we're looking to see if the news leaked out at all of this. We're down 43%, balls way up. So in this case, iron, on Thursday, Good Friday, we were closed. So Thursday was the last trading day. They got very short and very long option premium. They were unprofitable that day, but today they're extremely profitable. So that was one where, if you would have caught that, you might have done pretty well. Another one that I had been looking at a while back is Fusion Pharmaceuticals. You guys may remember it. Looking at the trade builder, so you can barely see the stock was trading about 10, and then it went up to 21 on buyout. Yeah, Novo is buying Cardio, so they're going to be taken over. That's what happens when you see a stock that just flatlines, goes up and flatlines, and you'll see implied volatility come way down. there's going to be no implied volatility because it's being taken over for cash. So everything, all the options just basically shrivel up and are just valued at whatever the takeover price is. So now we want to be looking at, okay, Fusion, did they know anything on the day before? So on the 19th, it went up. On the 18th, it does look like implied volatility kind of went up that day. So if you could see, that blue line is implied. So it already looks like something happened. So let's go to Fusion. Let's click on the historical dates. Let's go to the 18th. So on the 18th, it was trading about 10. That's what we saw. But then it started drifting up. The traders are, okay, very long delta, very long option premium. They actually were profitable that day because the stock was pushing up. Of course, the next day after that, the 19th, is when the takeover was announced and the stock went to 20. So all these people that were buying the 10 calls, did extremely well. So Tyler, what I'm trying to show is, like, in some of these big moves, there is leakage. And so the trick would be to find those stocks. How does that sound?
Yeah, it's pretty neat what you can see with some of these stocks. What I'm seeing here is the strategy column, where you see basically just a bunch of long calls right there. And this is different from what we normally see in more common stocks like Apple or SPY, where the strategies are a little bit more robust. There's spreads and there's condors and stuff like that. But it's funny that you only see long calls on that pharmaceutical stock.
Right. Yeah. So this is a normal day. This is Apple. Today they're neutral delta. They're short option premium. They're unprofitable today, but this is a normal day. So what we want to do, I think, is to go, figure out how we could find these stocks that are trading with a lot of, unusual volume. So we have a table of unusual volume. So all these stocks have unusual volume today. However, and you could click through these, but the way so here's Levi and here's ITB and MCHI. What I like to do, though, is I like to start at the stock scanner, as you mentioned, Tyler. So I have a lot of scans in here, and this is a really nice table. So unusual volume, little stock movement, and here are some of the indicators. So I like to look at that one. And so, because what we want to find is a stock that hasn't moved that much today, that has high option volume versus normal. And then we would have identified those stocks that we have seen before having a large move. So that's the chore today, is using stock scanner, using the unusual volume to find, and using, of course, the time and sales to find stocks that might be ready to pop. Now, it doesn't happen that often, so we're going to have to, kind of search. But I've set up the search. Let's take a look. So stock price divided by the prior close is either up or down 2%, 90.98 or 1.02. So that ratio has to be, I don't want something that's moved 30% today. I want something that's not moved that much. And then this is the big one. The option volume today divided by the average option volume for the last 20 days is the minimum. It's 5 times. So it's trading 500% of its normal. And then I don't want like a $2 stock. The minimum stock price I'll have is 10. And then option volume, that might look like a weird number, but that's the top 25% of option trading stocks right now. So that narrows it down to 6 stocks. And so let's take a look at what this result looks like. So the tickers, descriptions, stock price, stock volume, and here's the stock price divided by the prior close. So there's that 102, and here's the 0.98, the range. We could widen that out if we want, but I like that for now. Option volume. So this is so MCHI is trading 22% of normal. They normally trade 1,700, so that's a pretty big trade. So ITB, home construction, is 12.75 times normal. And then here's a bio stock. And we could check that out real quick. So let's check out that bio stock. Let's check out time and sales. So what's going on? Traders are short delta, long option premium.
I'll make sure to click back to today, Matt.
Oh, yeah,
You're
sorry.
on
Yeah,
March.
thank you. I made that mistake before. So sorry. Traders are very long delta, very long option premium. So looks like a big trade happened here. And so so that one could be interesting, the ANVS. But let's go back. Let's go back to the stock scanner. I'd like to check out the China ETF. Let's go to today. And what was the big trade? So there was a huge trade today, 38,000 contracts, May 45. So the stock's trading 40. So they're saying not so much on going above 45. At least this could be part of someone owns the stock. It probably is, but still, very short delta, very short option premium. So let's just take a look at the stock. I like to go to the trade builder. So it's kind of trending down, maybe a slight uptrend that we're showing there, but here's that. So that big blue is the cayenne. So that indicates calls, as we show here. And then, so there's a big open interest. Looks like they're selling that, selling those calls. Market looks really wide though. So you see the market. Oh no, it's not too wide. 15 cents at 25, not too bad. All right, so what do we want to do? So vol, has been coming down. Historical vol. Look at that gap. That's what we like to see. That gap, Tyler. We've talked about this before, but the gap between the historical vol and the implied vol is good for potentially selling some premium. So maybe what we'll look at is selling I'm selling a call spread here. Let's see if we can get anything good. How's that sound, Tyler?
Yeah, looks good. I like that gap there. In previous shows, we showed how you can trade iron condors based on that gap, and we did a stock scan for the IV versus the HV ratio. Pretty interesting to see that there.
Yeah, so there's MCHI. We want to sell call spread. We'll widen it up. So we'll go from like 10 days to 99 days. And the delta, that's already pretty wide. I'll widen it up even a little bit more. 5 deltas is low, 35 on the long, and then 55, 15. So that looks pretty good. So let's see if we can find anything good. So, and our ranking. So how do we want to rank things? I like to look at the forecast that's in the end distribution a little bit. We'll set the S percentage because we don't want anything below, let's say 2% of edge that we're giving away or 2% that we're getting, because we won't be able to fill it. So that kind of narrows it down a little bit. And then, how wide the market is. So I'm just scrolling over to the right. The market width percentage, these aren't too bad. I don't want anything over, I don't know, 25 cents. And then I don't really care about, you could set a minimum open interest. I don't really care about that. I think we could get filled. There's the big trade today. So let's see if there's anything that looks good here. So the top one that they like is buying the 46, selling the 43 for 40 cents. And just scrolling over a little bit, that's a 1 to 6 risk reward. So I don't know how we're feeling about that. Here's selling the 42s for 1 to 4 or 1 to 3.8. So I probably feel a little bit better about that. More forecast edge. Yeah. So let's look at that.
Yeah, I like the forecast edge on that one. As a reminder that F%, that's the edge that we get from the ORAT's forecast of implied volatility versus sort of what the market thinks of implied volatility. So a positive edge is a positive benefit to the trader. So we're looking for pretty high edges under that column.
Right. And interesting, we're buying what has been sold. So they probably really, move that call down a lot. And we could take a look at that actually. Let's take a look at that call in the trade history. So what I'm talking about is this was the big strike that they sold, and so we could see it really coming down. Or I guess here's where it was sold. That's the volume right here. What
If you
happened?
click
Stock.
on the, you can click on the
Oh,
visible
yeah,
icon
yeah,
in the,
you're right.
yeah.
Yep, you got me again. So there's it coming down, and so it's been pretty low. They sold it around 25% mid, but there was some edge, so it's probably worth about 23 cents. That's what. See, that red shows you that under or over value. The SMV is kind of where that red or green changes the line right there. So yeah, so this has really come down a lot. Let's see what the stock has done. Stock, came down, but now is heading back up. So it's about where it was here. So this is it looks like a decent buy. It's only 20 cents. So let's take a look at this trade, Tyler. So let's so it's 62 cents. We could lose 238. We could make the 62 cents that we're selling. And so this is the payoff picture. The green is obviously we want it to go down, and the red is what we could possibly lose here. And then that's at expiration. Expiration here is 47 days out. So if we like this trade, we could. The smooth edge is only 60 cents, so we're probably not going to be able to sell it for 62. Probably going to have to give them at least 2 cents. So we'll sell it at 58. We'll force that, and yeah, we'll see how we do on this MCHI trade. We're buying what they sold, but we're actually doing the same thing. We're selling mostly some call premium, upper call premium for the stock. And so what we'll do is I'll add some alerts. So I wouldn't mind getting out for 50%, and then I'd like to know if I'm losing 50%. So I'll say below that, and then I like to put Trader Hub, T Hub, paper trading account, and then so we'll exit 19 cents wide. If it's too wide, we don't send the alerts out. So that seems like pretty good. Maybe I'll make it a little bit more. 20 cents wide. So if it's over 20 cents, we won't get alerted. But that's pretty good chance of that happening. All right. So how's that like, Tyler?
Yeah, looks like a good trade to me.
All right. So let's send that through. We've had a pretty good record, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was filled. So that's going in. So we'll track that one. Yeah. So it goes into the positions here. Of course, we could trade through Tradier as easily as we did just for the paper trading right there. We'd like to do paper trading with this. Here's that MCHI. You click on it here, and it'll show you the payoffs and stuff. We're down $4 just because we felt that that's where we had to go to get filled on this. And then here are the other trades that we have going on. So that's the paper trading. And that's the trade for today, Tyler.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great trade. Great analysis on the time and sales. You can really do a lot with that tab. I think we have a few more minutes. Matt, do you want to go back to the time and sales and just quickly go over some of the neat features that we have in here?
Yeah, sure. So, again, what happened is we went to the stock scanner. We found stocks that had, large volume over normal. We came here, and it was immediately clear to us what is going on. There's a big seller, of these 45 calls. You'd show what the open interest was in them. So, may have been, you don't know if it was closing or opening because there was a significant amount of open interest. This actually could have been a closing order, but still, I think it's it's definitely a short leaning premium selling type of a trade that moves the market, moved the implied volatility. So, it shows at what time these went down, what the dollar deltas were. And then, like I said, that really did kind of move this down. Now it's kind of coming back a little bit. But, the less important is the trade. But the more important thing is, like you said, the features. of this particular time and sales tool is that you could really see what's going on, and the overall way that traders are trading. So it's very short delta, very short option premium. So we tried to mimic that, and that's how you would use the time and sales. Again, we showed different examples of kind of leakage, what I would call information leakage, where some stocks that moved a lot, we're starting to trade beforehand. So I think this is a great tool that we've put together, and to identify those types of trades, Tyler.
Yeah, I really love that summary up there. I think that makes it really easy to sort of come up with a investment thesis and make a trade based on that.
Yeah.
And you might ask us, like, well, how do you know all of these trades are happening, right? So we get a raw data feed, and then we sort of look at all this sort of complicated raw data, and then summarize it into that table of time and sales. And we do a lot of different things where we're looking at the strong side of the weak side of the order, and in the contracts versus the strikes and the open interest. So we do a lot of math, I guess, just looking at all these things to determine what our best guess of the orders that are actually taking place.
And we should also mention that we do the largest trades, kind of overall versus the average 20 days, so the ratio. So that's in the market intelligence.
That MCHI trade is up there.
Yeah, here is the MCHI. So we could have looked right here and saved ourselves a little bit, but again, we set up the stock scanner to make sure that the stock hadn't moved that much, so we could start to identify stocks that there might be some information leakage. The information leakage kind of means the stock hasn't had to digest any big news, but some people in the know might have something and start trading in options. As a past market maker, we used to see that all the time. Anyone that says, "Oh no, it's a fair market," it's not always, especially in these stocks where there's something big happens. That accountants know it, lawyers know it. Some people follow jet movements to see any takeovers. Like if anyone's flying to Omaha, Nebraska, and talking to Buffett, they happen in Oxy. They know when the private jets are going. So there's a lot of information leakage. Some of it, suspect, but some of it just good research that people do. So, but it really does come out first in the options, more so because you could get some of the people that know that you get so much more leverage
Right.
in options than you can with stocks.
Right. All right, Matt. Well, yeah, great show. I think this is a really great analysis tool, like you said. If you guys have any questions about how to use the tool, what to look for, the types of things that Matt looks for in the stock scans or the option scans, we have a bunch of templates available to you, so you guys can look at those and sort of quickly analyze the same stuff that we're looking at here. Yeah, unless you have anything else, Matt, we'll see you guys again next week. And thank you, Tradier, for hosting us.
Yeah, thanks.
All opinions expressed by Tradier Hub contributors are solely the contributors' opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Hub contributors as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or to follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. The contributors' opinions are based on their own personal research, but neither Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries warrants its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. Any trades or positions discussed or referred to by contributors may or may not be actual live trades or positions. Such information is not intended to be financial or investment advice. Tradier Inc. is the parent company of Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. and Tradier Inc. are separate entities with their own products and services. Securities products and services are offered through Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. is an independent subsidiary of Tradier Inc., all rights reserved, member FINRA SIPC.